All right, this is a chapter 6 test review. It's that back page. On the test, it won't be all 6 of them. It'll just be one of the kind. And to be honest with you, I'm probably going to find one that gives you the hypotenuse. Remember, it doesn't matter which one of these you let be A and which one of these you let be B. What matters is you let the hypotenuse be the longest side. The hypotenuse is the longest side because it's opposite the, anybody? The largest angle. The 90-degree angle is the largest angle in this. So I know that side right there has to be x, or c squared in Pythagorean theorem. So 72 plus 81 equals x squared. Where did I get 72 from? 64. 64 plus 81 is 145. And that's equal to x squared. So x is the square root of 145. Guys, again, I kind of belabored this point yesterday. There's no math magic here that you can do to figure out whether or not 145 can be simplified. You have to do the prime factorization or a factor tree or somewhere or another to test and see if you have more than one factor. 5 goes into 14, 2 tests, so that'd be 29. So the factors of 145 are 5, 29, and 1. There are no, it's a composite number, but there are no double factors, so you can't reduce it, guys. That's your final answer. Number 21 is a one like I'll pick for the test. Okay? You can either say 5 squared plus x squared, or x squared plus 5 squared. It doesn't matter which one you let be the legs. What matters is you let the hypotenuse has to be c squared. Next step, 25 plus x squared equals 225. So x squared equals square root of 200. Where did I get 200 from? Where did I get square root from? Right. If you have x squared, if you want to get x squared and you want to go down to x, you got to take the square root of it. Well, if I take the square root of it, then I have to take the square root of 200. Now, is the square root of 200 a good final answer? No. Square root of 2 times the square root of 100. What's the square root of 100? So I know this is 10 on the square root of 2. And again, guys, there's no magical thing that's going to happen. You have to take the square root of 200 and do the prime factorization of it. Hopefully, you've gotten good enough at this that you recognize the square root of 100. What's significant about the square root of 100? So you can stop right there and go 10 on the square root of 2. But if you kept going down, remember what the lady said, in the radical world, you circle 1, cross 1 out, circle 1, cross 1 out. Your numbers 5 times 2 gives me 10 out front, and the 2 right there gives me that underneath. X squared, 9 squared, 9 squared, plus x squared equals 13 squared. Guys, start them out the same way every time. Always start out with a squared plus b squared, or excuse me, x squared equals the square root of 170 squared is 170. Regardless of what it is, x squared plus square root of 37 squared equals 16 squared. Because you can start a Pythagorean theorem problem out the same way every time. You always let the hypotenuse, the side opposite the right angle, be over there by itself. The other two sides, the 10 and the x, are called the legs. And you can either write x squared plus 10 or 10 plus x squared. 81 plus x squared equals 169. So when I subtract 81 from both sides, looks like that's 88. I tried to get you to see this multiple times. X squared, when you have to take the square root of both sides, 88. 2 goes in there 44 times, 2 goes in there 22 times, 2 goes in there 11. This is why this problem is different from the square root of 145. In the square root of 145, there weren't 2 factors. In square root of 88, there are 2 factors. So you circle 1, 2, cross 1 out. I can't circle the second 2 because there's nothing to cross out with it. That's right. So it's 2 on the square root of 11. That's the length. 2 on the square root of 11 inches, 2 on the square root of 11 feet, 2 on the square root of 11 miles, whatever. 64 plus x squared equals 170. So x squared equals 106. If x squared is 106, x is the square root of 106. X squared plus 37 equals 256. X squared plus 37 equals 256. How do I get a plus 37 to the other side? Subtract 37. X squared equals, see, what would that be? 229, I believe? 219? So x is the square root of 219. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and B are the legs. C is the hypotenuse. Whatever the numbers are, you just take them and plug them in. And I can see the square root of 125 is 25 times 5. Again, the significant thing about 25 is it's a perfect square. So 5 on the square root of 5. Like I said, guys, there's only going to be one of these. And I probably will pick one where it's you've given one of the legs and the hypotenuse. It's find the other leg. Because you have to do addition and subtraction. I got a question about these?